And we're back. So this is season 1, episode 6, A Fourth Wife to Be. And this episode is an absolute doozy. So we open up with the wives and Robyn on the sofa. Again, we're flipping back and forth. TLC still hasn't gotten it together at all. We're bouncing all over the place. But let's dive into the sofa looks. Janelle is in a hugely oversized flowy top. Christine is in a blue shirt. And Meri is in a brown long sleeve top, low cut, with a black number underneath. And then we get to Robyn. So Robyn is sporting a teal green, kind of dark turquoise short sleeve top over a long sleeve dark top with a pair of jeans and the most god awful cut out wedge. And this look is finished with a mouth full of herpes. Now I've noticed that none of the other wives have herpes yet. So because we're all over the place and because there's so many different looks, I'm just going to give a special mention to the most iconic ones. So they're talking about Kody's time. And Christine doesn't think that Robyn should get the same amount of time because she's not married yet. Meri agrees with her, but Janelle doesn't give a crap. Now bear in mind that Christine has a literal newborn baby. So shy pretty wife is not very shy here. She's telling us that because the courtship was so long, it was 4 months, that they needed time together. So she didn't give a care about these women from the moment she met them. Because we know now that Kody can't leave her tenders, like her two youngest that she calls the tenders. He can't leave them. But it's perfectly fine for Kody to leave Truly, who's 3 weeks old, to go and spend the night with Robyn. And Robyn said that because of her kids that time was needed. Now bear in mind, Robyn told us that there was loads of men who wanted to marry her. So she could have prevented all of this. Like she could have picked one of them. But in all honesty, I'm glad that she didn't, because if she had picked somebody else, we wouldn't have got the Brown family and we wouldn't have got a TLC show. And every TLC show needs a villain, and we got one. We got one in Robyn, and then we get one in Kody, so I'm glad that she came. So Meri says that she agrees with Christine, and there's certain things that only a wife gets to do. And Robyn snaps back with "the thing" with our fingers in quotes. We know you're doing the thing, Robyn. We literally see the herpes all over your face. So Robyn says that it's been a big upheaval for her kids, and she said that she had to move them and move jobs, but she obviously didn't because she doesn't have a job, and she doesn't ever get a new job. So we know that that's crap. So it's been a big upheaval for everybody, and Meri is saying that it's been a big upheaval for them. So anyway, it's 5 weeks until the wedding, and Robyn is saying that there's lots of things to do. So they have to pick out flowers, cake, dresses, the venue, so all the things. So we're at the Lehigh house, and not so shy pretty wife Robyn recently said that she doesn't like the other people, like the other wives or kids, to come to her house without warning. But here she is, and she's just barging into their houses. So there's so much going on in this episode, and we're switching all over the place. So Kody is on the sofa now with the 4 women, and Robyn is saying that it can be hard for the other wives when a new wife comes in because it's all about the new wife. Now, how would she know? How exactly would she know? Because her mother, we found out, her mother was the second side piece and nobody else came after her. And Robyn is the newest side piece in this family and nobody comes after her. And we know that she's not going to allow anybody to come after her. So this just made me laugh. They're packed up and I think they're in Janelle's big huge truck and they're going to look at venues and flowers. And it was so funny to me to see all the wives sitting in the truck together. I don't know why, but it just made me laugh. So we're at a florist, and I'm really surprised that they're going to an actual florist for wedding flowers, because a florist would upcharge a lot. So I think TLC is paying for this wedding. And then the florist looks at the OG3 and she asks Robyn, are these mothers or sisters? And Robyn says they're advisors. But none of these women look old enough to be Robyn's mother. And we know that there's only I think there's 7 years between Robyn and Christine. She's also just had a baby. So she must have felt really shit here. To be honest with you, I would have just left the shop there and then, but Christine is obviously better than me. So Robyn said that she spent months and months thinking of how to separate the OG3 wives from everybody else at the wedding. Now, bear in mind, she's only been with Kody for 4 months, so she didn't spend that long. So the OG3 wives are picking out flowers. Now, Christine. So Christine says that she wants a corsage, okay? Now, when I'm thinking about this, I have to assume that Christine just missed out on so much like of her youth. She probably didn't get to go to a Debs or a prom or anything like that, and I think that's why she wants to corsage. But she's just saying this because she's going to be holding Truly. So Truly is 3 weeks old now, and Janelle says that she never gets to hold her because Christine is always holding her, and they're so close, which is just so lovely. Christine is a great mother, but I don't believe for a second that Janelle is interested in holding the baby. So we're switching back and forth again from the red velvet sofa over to the florist. And the florist confirms that you're all going to be wearing brown, which is just so unfortunate. Now we're going cake testing, and Kody pulls up in his two-door Lexus. And they're at an actual, like, a bakery, for the wedding cake. And, like, if you buy a wedding cake from a bakery, it's so incredibly expensive. So I really am surprised at this, considering, like, the finite resources. So we meet Olivia. Now, Olivia is the cake decorator, and she has cakes for them to try. So Kody is in his lavender shirt, and he has the red and grey striped tie that we met him in the first time, like in the opening. So they're trying cakes, and they're trying an almond cake, which Meri hates, by the way. Now I understand that because I hate almond myself, but I wouldn't have said that like to the baker. Now I noticed that there's definitely some tension between Christine and Kody. And Kody tries to take a piece of her cake, and she says, like, don't take my cake. And I know that was just, that was just a joke, but there's definitely tension between these two. Now we're back on the sofa, and Meri says that she doesn't think that they look like polygamists, and that they don't announce that they're polygamists. And Robyn said, well, if we take turns like kissing Kody, one at a time, people would know. We know you're kissing him, Robyn, like, we know, we see the herpes running wild. So we're back in the bakery, and Olivia is going to take a vote to see which cake they're going to pick. And of course, Kody gets 2 votes. So while they're sitting there and they have their eyes covered, okay, I don't know why this happens, but Kody jumps up and he starts dancing with his hair flopping everywhere, looking like a total lunatic. So anyway, they're going through the different choices, and as I said, they all have their eyes closed. And when it comes to the cake that Kody wants, Kody shouts out, Robyn, pick the one I want. So I think that these two were here before and that they know exactly what they want to choose. And I think that Christine is kind of copping on to that. I think Christine is realizing this. So we're switching back and forth to the sofa. And Janelle says that it's not all about Kody, it's a democracy. Oh, poor delusional Janelle. So we're at a venue called Hidden Meadows, and Janelle tells us that she hates receptions, but that she likes this place. Now we know that Janelle is an outdoorsy kind of girl, so I have a conspiracy about this. I think that Kody may have brought Janelle to this place before, just to feel her out a bit, just to see, what she thought of it. And I think he did that because Robyn really likes this place, and I think that this was a complete and utter setup. But I don't know for sure, but that's just my theory. And then we get a flashback picture. Oh, this is a bad one. It's Christine's wedding dress. So I'm gonna describe it. It's awful, and it looks like sateen. Like that material. It looks like a sateen duvet cover with just a hole in it for her head, like something that's after coming from, like, I don't know, the 60s or the 70s or something like that. And then it looks like this satin pillowcases were just like attached to each arm, and that's about it. There's absolutely no shape to it whatsoever. Now we know that Christine's mother made this dress, and I have to ask, did she have glaucoma or something? So Kody was in the same white suit when him and Christine got married, and Christine drops a little gem here. And she said that she wouldn't have had a big wedding because, of the other woman, that when she was getting married, she thought it'd be best to just have a dinner and, like, nothing bigger. And I thought, thanks Christine, thanks for saying that. And then Janelle tells us, this is kind of sad, Janelle tells us that she had nobody to invite to her wedding because when she became a polygamist, that nobody liked the idea. But we do know that Janelle's mother married Kody's father, so I hope that she would have at least been there. So Christine says, oh, this is sad again. Christine says that because of how that like they had their weddings, that they're all going to live vicariously through Robyn, which but anyway, we do know that Christine had the wedding of her dreams. I thought the dress was hideous, but it doesn't really matter because she thought that it was lovely. So we're switching back and forth to different venues again, and Kody is sporting all different versions of brown, like all different versions of brown. Anyway, there's a trellis there, okay, and Christine says, "Let's pole dance." So they're underneath the trellis, but only Robyn knows to put her leg around the pole. Now, this is what I think. I think Christine has heard of pole dancing, but she has no idea what it actually is. But Robyn definitely knows what pole dancing is. But our ever sensible queen Janelle, she's having none of this shenanigans. Now we're inside the venue looking at the menus, and they're asked if they can share a menu, and Meri comes out with this. You have no idea how much we share, and she's just previously told us that they don't like to announce that they're polygamous, and yet here she is announcing it. Now we're shopping for a wedding dress. And I have to say, I really am surprised at how much money is being spent. But then I have to think, maybe they're right because we can't trust Christine's mother to be making another wedding dress. So Robyn is absolutely tiny here. Like she's pencil thin here, okay? I'd say she's probably about a size 6. Like definitely smaller than a size 8. Maybe a size 6. Now, I know that in more recent times, Christine has had a boob job, and I'm wondering if Robyn has had a boob job since then. Anyway, we're looking for dresses, and the OG3 wives and Robyn say that they're just looking for kind of like a special guest, and not anything kind of bridesmaidy, which makes me wonder, why didn't they not just go somewhere else? Why are they in a bridal shop then? Just go somewhere else for different dresses and all sizes, that would kind of suit everybody. So Meri is telling the woman who is waiting on them that they don't want to look like bridesmaids, and also they don't want to look like mothers of the bride. And I hate when these women talk about themselves like this. Like I really hate it. And then this is very interesting. Meri picks up a dress, okay? Now the dress is hideous, by the way, but she picks up a dress and she says, "Should I go straight?" So she's telling us here again that she's gay. So Janelle is being so sweet, and she's saying, "You need to accentuate your tiny waist." Janelle is just, she's just the cutest and the sweetest. She really is a lovely person. So we're switching back up from the sofa to the dress shop. Oh Jesus. Meri and Christine are trying on dresses. One of them is lime green and one of them is brown, and they are hideous. But anyway, they're having fun and they're trying them on. So Jesus Christ. Janelle is sitting on the sofa in the dress shop, and she's talking to Robyn, and she says that she wants a lower waistline. No, you don't, Janelle. No, you do not. You want a high waistline. You want to accentuate the height, accentuate the legs, make yourself look taller. Please, somebody get this woman some help. So now Robyn is trying on wedding dresses, and I have to say she looks really pretty here. She does, and she also seems kind of fun. And I have to wonder, what happened to this woman? Too much Kody, I suppose. So we're back on the sofa. And, we get Christine, okay? So Christine is telling us that everything took a while to settle down when she married Kody, and that everything is going to take a while now, but that she really liked it just the way it was, and it's not going to be like that anymore. And she doesn't know what it's going to be like. It's going to be awful, Christine. It is going to be awful. Now, Robyn said that she didn't find a dress, okay? But she said that she picked a dress and that she's keeping it a secret. And I have questions about this too. Why on earth is she keeping it a secret from the other wives? So what, is she going to do like a first look with them? It's, it's just the red flags are here already. So we're back on the velvet sofa. And so here we go. Kody says he has a bomb to drop, and that he picked the wedding dress, that him and Robyn went to a place called Lisa's Bridal. Now, I'm not from this area, so if you know what Lisa's Bridal is like, let me know. So anyway, he said that he picked a dress. Now, Robyn does not look happy that he's after saying this, but Christine gets really upset. And Christine says, "You didn't care what I wore on our wedding day." But in all honesty, maybe he should have, because she looked hideous. But anyway, these two were keeping secrets. Him and Robyn picked that dress, and they kept it a secret from the other wives, and it's just hideous what these two are doing. They're so manipulative. So Meri and Janelle are agreeing with Christine, because what was the point in these women going to look at a wedding dress? And we know that they work. So did these women take time off work? And we know that if they weren't working, that there's a load of kids in this family. And I'm just thinking, what absolute pieces of shit like Robyn and Kody are to do this. So if Janelle had to take time off, that's digging into the finite resources. And it was just so manipulative. It was just an awful thing to do. And Christine is really upset and she wants to leave the sofa. And Kody says you don't have to leave. Like, shut up, Kody. Now I do have to talk about Cody's look here, because he has a pair of clogs on him, but they have a little heel. So like the clogs are like closed at the front and like hard material, but they have a heel on them. And I thought, that's an interesting choice. So Christine comes back to the sofa, and the women are talking about how they feel after Cody's bomb, okay? And Robyn and her hairpiece butt in again, and she tells us that she wanted to keep it a secret, so she knew that she was going to hurt these women. Like, she knew that, and she knew that what she was doing was wrong, which is why she wanted to keep it a secret. And poor Christine, again, like, she's trying to smooth things over. So I noticed that Christine does this a lot, not just for herself, okay, but also for the family in general. She tries to smooth things over. You know the way people try to put like their best foot forward? Well, Christine does that, but she does it for the collective family. She really is a precious soul. So then Kody, of course. Kody says that this is painful for him. Like, what's painful for you, Kody? You got everything that you wanted. You got the cake you wanted. You got the dress that you wanted. You got the Robyn that you wanted. So then this gets emotional. And Christine says that she needs Kody to step it up, and that she's going to step it up too. But she's crying when she says it. And we know that Christine had postnatal depression after Truly. So, it's very raw. And Kody says, please be forgiving. And Christine says, please be patient. Oh, the emotions of it all. So I do have some thoughts on this episode, because it was just such a wild ride. And we really get to see like how secretive and manipulative Kody and Robyn are with like her whole coming into the family. Because like the whole ordeal of the wedding dress, it's just peak Robyn and Kody, lying, keeping secrets, and they're acting like everybody else is stupid. Like they knew what they were doing, and they even pretended to include like the rest of the family in the process, but it was all crap. Now I do have the conspiracy about the venue. Something's definitely just not adding up about that. Was it really just like chosen at the last moment, or like are they lying about this also? Because it wouldn't be the first time that Kody and Robyn made a decision, and just lied about it. And then there's the tension. There's so much tension going on between Christine and Kody here. And like, honestly, who could blame her? But the writing was already on the wall for what's coming in the future. And like, just watching it like unfold, it just confirms that she saw the red flags way before anybody else did. And we have to give like a special mention to Kody's heinous heeled clogs. I mean, sir, you are already standing on shaky ground, and those shoes are not helping you. And while we're at not helping you, let's talk about Robyn's hairpiece. They are taking over her face like she is taking over this family. Season 1 is really out here laying the groundwork for the chaos that's to come, and honestly, I really just can't wait to see how much messier it's gonna get. So that is our Season 1 Episode 6 of Fourth Wife to Be wrap up. Hope you enjoy.